Hey y'all, what's up? Your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. As y'all see, I'm over here chilling by the bed. I just didn't feel like getting up and recording over there by the window today, so I'm just chilling right here. I got my phone propped in the little phone stand, and we just gonna talk, okay? We gonna talk about this episode of Life After Lockup. Y'all know we do Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, and we actually got some new but old couples. They're like old couples, but they're new like to this season to talk about and everything. So yeah, this it shouldn't be too long because it honestly was kind of a filler episode. So I just want to come in and knock it out really fast before I go watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, which we all know is some bull this season too. But all right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So we opened up the episode. We all know Bri and Key Rock, basically, long story short, they got engaged. Key Rock wants to, put Bri on this prove your love to me type team. And that could be dangerous in a relationship because once this person feels like they can have you jumping through hoops, it only becomes a constant obstacle course. And Key Rock kind of has that little bit of and her that kind of gives off just very like abrasively manipulative. And I just feel like Bri is in for just obstacles galore. Like, to make it feel like, I don't know, you real to me unless you jump out this plane with me. I guess that's how he was trying to sell it to her, like, so he can get her on there for the proposal. But I don't know, something about it just threw me off. But nonetheless, he did get the grandmother's blessing, which I did think was sweet, because she was like, the only thing missing was just like my family or whatever. And he was like, no, I got your grandmother's blessing. And she just started crying. And that's what I thought. I was like, okay, that was cute. But nonetheless, I still think what I think about Key Rock. So moving on. So if y'all see this thing in the corners, I got these new wall things. Because my wall was looking a little bare, and ain't it cute? Shout out to Temu. I had to put like cute little line drawings on the wall. I'm gonna put some more pictures and stuff, but that's if you see something in the corner, that's what it is. But yeah, okay, so next couple, y'all, we got Chevel and Quaa. The mamas is beefing still. Quaa mama don't like Chevel, and Iota, they both looking at each other like, touche, bitch, I see you, it's on sight, okay? I'm waiting for you at 3 o'clock. They beefing because basically Quaa's mama was like, girl, you ain't gonna be in the front. And the mama was like, I'd be danged if I'm not, especially. But she was like, you know what? I'm not paying for it anyway. So the Quaa pulls his mama away. Chevel pull her mama away. She go into the hallway, and she like, Mom, this is only the first venue. She like, I don't care. It don't matter. Like, I feel like you deserve better. You are a queen. But if this is what you want to do, like, I'm not gonna pay for it. She get upset because she like, Mom, why you not gonna pay for it? She was like, I'll do the dress, but this, I'm not doing it. So Chevel's feeling some type of way because it's like, for my mom to not pay for the wedding because you don't agree with who I'm marrying, like, I never expected that. And it's kind of like, girl, Chevel, that kind of is a hard thing to ask of somebody. Like, you don't like my man, but can you pay for me to marry him? And I understand our parents being in hard predicaments, feeling like, I don't want to pay for my daughter to marry this man. Like, this is not it, And so if they could probably like meet in the middle of like Mama said, like pay for the dress, maybe like do that much. But the wedding, Chevel, you might have to be on your own on that. But sorry y'all, this camera keeps moving because I got it posted on my knee. But she's thinking about it still as they have this cute little Hallmark moment, like in the kitchen. She's cooking with Quaa and just talking about like, are we moving too fast? Like, all right, is this what you want to do? And he like, man, bump them. Like, we together. Okay, we're gonna get married. Don't let nobody talk us out of it. We the bomb. She in there cooking and stuff. And she talking to him about, needing to get more work. I was like, Quaa, another one. These inmates get out after y'all done sold the woman a dream, and y'all ass be at home not doing nothing broke. That's really what happened. But her daughter Maila comes home, and she's cooking and everything, and her daughter was so cute. And so she basically talks about how Maila was hard. It was hard on her when they took a break, because at the end of the day, I hate when women do this. Chevel basically introduced Quaa as daddy. I hate when women do that. I really do. Like, this man wasn't even out of jail, and she called that man daddy. That really just irked me. But nonetheless, he is a fixture in her life. And so she basically was talking about, like, it's hard on the break because, you know, he was still coming by to see her. Low-key me, but you know how this is. Dudes come by to smash the baby mama and then see the kids on the way out. It's not that I'm coming to see the kids. No, I'm coming to get that nookie, and then I'll play with the kids like as a consecutive prize or whatever. Like, that's all that is. And so yeah, that basically got them back together. So she's just like, you know, that's what I always wanted. You know, I have this family, you know, dynamic, us together and everything. So it's just really weighing hard on me. And it's like, okay, we'll see how this turn out, like all the other ones. So next we have Melissa and Louie, you guys. Y'all know Louie tried to show up for Melissa and, you know, surprise her and do kind of a cute boyfriend thing. And she ate him for lunch when he came. It wasn't no lovey-dovey. It wasn't no, hey babe. It wasn't no nice to see you, nada. And so when they got back to her spot, he was like, dang, like I can't do nothing right. Like I'm trying to prove to you I'd have made my way up here. And this is what I get met with. Like, I don't know what you were expecting of me. Because she was like laying into him. And he said it right. Like, I literally just got out of prison. Like, for 10 years. That's what a lot of these women don't understand. It's like, yeah, this man is talking. But there is a transition period from going from prison to the real world. From having everything done for you to you having to do everything for yourself. Like, while they're in prison, they're not having to worry about pay rent, electricity, water bill, like cable bill, none of that. They don't have to worry about none of that. Although prison is a hard place otherwise, at least that's something they ain't got to worry about is bills. But then when they get out, then the real world come flying at them. Oh, I got to work to pay bills, feed my family, keep a roof over our head. Like, a lot of niggas don't know how to handle that transition. But Louie is trying. You know, he bought the new car and she freaking killed him for that. And so when they woke up the next morning, he was cooking eggs and, you know, cooking for her. And he was like, I don't really know what's going on. Like, we fought yesterday. We slept in separate rooms. Like, what is going on? And so she's like, well, you know about that. I actually want to apologize. So she apologized for being a bitch to him because Melissa was being a bitch. Like, girl, Melissa, I don't even be trying to stand up for these dudes like that. But I was like, girl, you better lay off Louie. Like, drop down in the comments if you was feeling that way. Like, Melissa was doing too much when it came to Louie. And so she ends up taking him to the little barbecue that her and her family are having, although they're still on this break. So, of course, she's nervous. He's cracking jokes like, oh, what do I call him? Do I call him Pops, Dad, or whatever? Because as from what they know, they're on a break. So the fact that Louie's just popping up, she don't know how they're going to react. So she come in and she say, hey, and everybody see Louie. Everybody's like, Louie. Oh, Dad's like, man, what you doing here? My daughter show gonna drag him in, you know. So he meets the dad, the sister, Melissa's brother-in-law, and then the other sister, Cherry, comes in later. But as they're sitting down at the table, he met the first sister and the dad, and they just start going into him like, what you doing here? You know, did you buy the ticket or did she? You know, she was like, no, I'm not sending any more money. He's like, any more? She was like, I paid for your teeth, you know? And so she's like, what do you think of them or whatever? And so now Louie's kind of like, dang, they keep taking jabs at me. Like, and I'm just trying to prove to them, like, I really, you know, want to work things out with Melissa. So he sits down. And so the dad just starts talking to him. And in the midst of them talking, guess who called? Donna. So she, of course, on the phone asking how the barbecue's going, yada, yada. And he's like, yeah, I'm here with them. And so he got her on FaceTime. And so the sister, she ended up saying something because mom was like, oh, are you being like making, Melissa would stop being dumb. That's what it was. She's like, oh, that would be good together. Melissa would just stop being dumb. And so the sister was like, no, how you know my sister's like the dumb one. We're trying to make sure she's making the right decision. And she was like, Louie is the right decision. And basically like, they were like, okay, well, we'll see about that. So the dad, after he hangs up, calls Louie to the side and the sisters end up talking to Melissa. And she's like, see what I'm talking about? Like, Donna, she's always, you know, everywhere. The mom, like, she's just so involved in our life. And so she's like, if Louie moves up here, they're like, well, if he moves, like, is she gonna move? I don't think so, because the mom, to pick her life and everything like that. I don't think so. She's clearly been in that house for a long time. Like, I don't think she would move, but I could be wrong, but because I don't think Louie would want her to move. I think Louie would tell her, like, no, ma, stay. Because he ready to get rid of his mom too. But yeah, as they're talking, they're like, also, like, what do you expect from him? Like, he works at a pizza joint. Like, what is he gonna come here and do? And so Melissa actually kind of stuck up for him in that moment. She kind of was like, I realized that she wasn't putting herself in Louis' shoes. Like, she was like, I have such high expectations, from him, but I also have to consider, like, he did just get out of jail, and like, it in her mind, she's thinking like, oh, he's gonna come out and immediately get to it, and it's like, that's not realistic. He's only been out of jail for 4 months. Like, it's gonna take him well over a year to really get acclimated and possibly build something, like, or just possibly even just step foot in like the right direction of his career. So, Melissa's like, she wants to give him time to develop, which is really all you can do. Because at the end of the day, like, he did just get out, and you did decide to take that on when you decided to get with an inmate. All these, like, Melissa, like, you would have seen her have buyer's remorse, and it's like, bitch, you already in it. She ain't leaving because she done bought that man them teeth. And she be danged if another bitch get the benefits, is kind of when it's given. But I at least am glad that conversation possibly with Louie, where she freaking ripped him a new one, and he gave her the business back, like, yo, I'm doing something, but you ain't trying to acknowledge it. I feel like that conversation kind of like cleared her a little bit to like just think about what you're talking about. Like, god dang, girl, I just got out of jail. So the dad's over there trying to check him, like, what you doing? Like, you not finna like just lay up while my daughter work and handle everything. He's like, no, sir. Like, I want to provide for her. That's why, I came up here to show her that I'm really serious. And he was like, yeah, all you got is your word. We're gonna have to see. And he was like, well, that's all I have. In prison, I learned that. He was like, honestly, prison, like, saved my life. I want to do better. And, I'm gonna do my best to prove to Melissa. The dad in the confession was like, Melissa's quality of picking men, I'll give her like a C. And Melissa's like, well, I just like the bad boys, I think I just like the bad boys because look at my dad, he was one. And the dad, he just looked at her. She was like, you just said all the time growing up that you saw more ass than toilet seats. And then I think for a dad to realize that he's the problem and why his daughter's picking shitty men, a lot of you men don't really think about that. That's where the gimme gotcha is. Men love doing women dirty, and then realizing that their daughters are looking at that and forming how they react to men off of that. Y'all really don't be thinking about that. But, that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, so Melissa leaves the barbecue and ends up taking him over to the high school for like sweet, try to make a reminiscent moment. And they go over to the baseball dugout and stuff. And she was just like, let's go here. And he was like, sitting down talking. He was like, what are we doing? He's like, she really needs to get over this like high school thing. And so he's like, no, we're not doing breaks. Like, are we together or not? She's like, no more breaks. He's like, no, that's high school stuff. It was good. It was good to see Louie like stick up for himself. Like, are we together or not? And so she gave him a chance. She's like, of course I'm still nervous and, anxious about if he can really prove himself. But the only thing I can do is just like give him the opportunity. So they end up making out. She's like, oh, you remember everybody used to do it in the dugout? And so they go over there to the dugout and try to start getting busy. I was like, girl, you stuck in this little fantasy. Now you got your ass wrapped up in something that you can't get rid of. Because she basically said, she's like, I'm in too deep now. Like, i.e., I done spent money and I ain't losing this investment now. That's what it's giving. But let's go ahead and move on, y'all. So an old but new couple is Lindsay and Blaine. Y'all know Lindsay. She was little crazy crackhead. She done came out and then wrote cheater. And we seen her before with Scott. Scott with the bumblebee lips, the one who looked like he got stung in the lips. Yeah, him. He couldn't keep his hands off the prostitutes, the hookers, and so she ended up going back to jail because she basically vandalized all his stuff. But now that she's out, she's moved in with Blaine, bought a house. I guess they got rid of that little thing they was renovating. And, you know, is moving her daughter in. The grandma's sad because she's like, I done had her for so long. You know, it is going to be different. But she's kind of like, I'm glad, you know, to be grandma again or whatever. And so Blaine, he's excited but nervous because he also has his kid as well, his son. And so both of them having their kid move on feels like a good step, but it's also a huge responsibility. Like Lindsay, of course, Blaine feels like, I hope she's not taking on too much, and it ends up relapsing, you know? But the grandma, you know, brings her over, and of course, you know, the daughter and the grandma were just in the car talking like, oh, of course, I'm gonna miss you, and, you know, this is good, this is what we've always wanted, for you to be with your mom, that's why we always, you know, still took you to go see her and things like that, like, we wanted your mom and you to have this type of relationship. And so they pull up and the grandma's like, well, you can always change your mind. But the daughter, you can tell the daughter's like anxious and nervous about it, but still wants to at least give it an opportunity. So they go in the room and she did it all up like it's pink, and she like, you know, made her like, it was a good effort of what Lindsay was trying to do. And so the grandma takes Lindsay in the, or Lindsay takes her grandma in the kitchen and just kind of was like, we find out that, it's not really her mother, like it's her step grandmother that kind of raised her essentially. And so she sees her as a mom. And then when she gets locked up, she takes up her daughter and raises her. So she's like, I really like owe her more than she just realizes. Like, I think Lindsay sees it as like, you know, finally, let me give you a break. Let me take my daughter up off you and you can have your life. But also the grandma said, because when you've been doing nothing but raising, like that's what you've been doing. And so she knows it needs to happen, but it's sad also because she was like, you know, when I lost so-and-so, I forgot the name she said, but I'm guessing she lost her husband. So because she lost her husband and the daughter being the only there with her, she was like, you know, she was my rock for a little bit. And I think the grandma is going to be sad to be going back to an empty house. And then I think like the grief for real is going to set in because, you know, I had a husband, lost him, and to be at home by myself, I think, you know, having obviously the daughter there kept her from feeling so alone. But now that she's got to go back, you know, by herself, I think that's what she's kind of like, you know, not looking forward to doing. But she understands, like, you know, Lindsay, you got to be a mom. She's like, what you gonna do about her picking up stuff, like picking up after herself and, you know, showing respect and everything. From the sounds of it, grandma trying to give her a heads up that your daughter low-key got a little, she act like you sometimes don't know how to respect the law. And that could be a problem. And so we're going to see how the daughter turn out. If she going to be one of them brats or not. So moving on. Who else do we have? Another old but new couple is Justine and Michael. So Michael, y'all know he the wannabe rapper with the curly head. He went in. Now he's out. But then got out and knocked Justine out literally in like the first 9 months, I think. And it's like, bro, y'all can't wait. Like, she told the mama was so upset because, first of all, y'all, Justine already got like 6 kids. And then he has like 3. So together they have like 9. They're not ready for this. They are not ready for this one iota. So, he wants to be a rapper and all in Vegas and stuff like that. And so, but he got to get to his kids because he couldn't parole in Rhode Island with them. So he paroled with Justine. And so this is his first time actually seeing his kids. So they making it up there, but she tells her daughter and their kids not to say nothing about them possibly moving to Vegas. Not only for the daughter because she got accepted into college, but also because he want to rap. And so he finally makes it to seeing his kids. It was a sweet moment. They ran, hugged on him, jumped on him and everything. And he has an older daughter in which he went in when she was 10 and now she's 16, a very formative age, you know? And she's super cute, looks like him, got the curly hair, super adorable, the whole family. So the sister's like, shoot, you gonna be able to handle this? He like, shit, I got you on speed dial. And so he just basically comes in and was like, yeah, you know, I'm nervous because I know how they probably feel. You know, see me come out and be with Justine and her kids, they probably upset. And that's what happened. Like the sister, the aunt to the kids kind of admitted like, yeah, you know, your daughter, she was upset. She was crying and kind of feeling like, well, dang, you know, they get to get a part of my dad that I don't get, you know, that I missed or whatever. And he knows that is going to be a huge obstacle that he's going to have to overcome, because now he's spreading not only his time like 6 ways with Justine's kids, but like his kids as well. And then not only that, a new baby, and then trying to rap. Like, this is going to be a shit show. Like, literally none other than a shit show. Like, girl, I got a new baby, bitch. Like, y'all, ooh, I tell you, you dudes just be nutting and just like shooting up the club. Like it's just, where's the condoms? Like, I just can't. I can't. Got another baby on the way, and that was the last thing y'all needed, but they gonna, I guess, try to handle it. So they go on this vacation or whatever, all the kids get in the car, and, you know, this will be the first time, you know, he actually wants to, like, spend time with his kids alone. So they get to the little place or whatever, they all running around, they getting the kids ready for night. It is nothing but energy. Everybody jumping off the walls, and Justine just kind of like, are we gonna be able to handle this? Hell no. Y'all gonna drive yourself crazy. But the older daughter for Justine and the older daughter for Michael, they get along because she's 18 and the daughter's 16. So they are in commonality age, which I'm glad that sister has, or that daughter has, like Michael. So they're in there playing with makeup and everything. And then the oldest sister leaks that they going to Vegas. And so Michael's daughter's like, huh? Say what? She was like, yeah, my mom didn't want me to tell you, but, you know, we're moving to Vegas. And because she was like, yeah, I can't wait for us all to be together when we go to Vegas. She's like, what? Vegas, what? She's like, well, I know you got accepted. Is that the reason? And she was like, you know, I honestly think that they were thinking about going before, you know, obviously because, you know, he wanted to go to work and stuff. He did. Like, you shouldn't have said all that. Like, oh, he obviously didn't want to, but, you know, he feels like he has to. Like, that was you involved in something that you didn't need to do. I'm sorry, whatever your name is, Kylie, Justine daughter, because now for the daughter to know that, oh, it's almost like he feels like he has to thing, you're gonna like almost breed resentment towards Michael, and not only Michael, but your mom, because she's gonna feel like your mom is responsible for her not getting the time with her dad. So she was like, oh, well, you can just talk to your dad. She's like, well, I don't know, he wouldn't say nothing to me. Like, how do you know he wasn't? That's what the daughter said. Well, I think he wanted to get here first. So then if you knew that, why would you say something? Which your old mess says, I swear. But now the daughter knows. We're going to see how that play out. Are there any other couples? Last but not least, y'all, Taylor and Chance. Y'all know I can't stand Chance. Oh, I can't stand Chance. Nothing but a scammer. So Taylor and Chance ain't doing nothing but just sitting around getting big. Chance, he's playing with the baby, you know, because they had a new baby, a son, while she had like 3 daughters before she met him. And they trying to figure out basically how to get some income, but she's starting to do epoxy tables. And, you know, they got a client, but, you know, they still need money because Chance got them in debt. Bobby comes over, and, you know, she's obviously out of her rehab and everything. She's just, you know, trying to make sure she doesn't relapse. So Bobby, she shows her around the place. I guess they tried to do some renovating and whatnot. And, you know, built up stuff. It looks just like a whole bunch of incomplete projects. That's the type of man that Chance is. Like, he talk a big game and don't follow through. But now Bobby sees all, she's like, oh, I like the kitchen and all this type of stuff. They just got a whole bunch of shit everywhere. And she basically talks to Bobby, and she's like, you know, Bobby, how are you doing? Yada, yada. And she's like, you know, I'm good. Just trying to make sure I stay, you know, clean. And she's like, but I'm doing good with Scott. And so I guess the girl, she got a boyfriend now. Well, now, as she announces out to Taylor, getting ready to be her husband, they are getting married. And so when she was like, oh, I got a surprise for you, they sit down, and she's like, are you pregnant? She's like, no, but I'm getting married. And so Chance is like, well, wait a minute, like, y'all better not get married before us, because Chance been trying to lock Taylor down, and I think Taylor know that, which is why she's not marrying him. Like, he has been trying to marry her, and she ain't doing it. And I'm glad. Taylor, stick to your gut, okay? do not bind yourself to that man. But unfortunately, like, Taylor, as much as she don't want to be with Chance, she hasn't built up the strength to leave. Like, she's like, basically, like she told Bobby, where it's like, you know, I want to give Chance the opportunity and everything, but also, like, having a son, I don't want to rip him from his dad. And that's what these niggas do. They know a child is the one link that will always keep you wanting to be in access to him. Like, it'll always make you want to have that, you know, oh, I want my child to be with my father type situation. Because, shocker, why is it that, you know, it's put out there that men can't be dads, not in a relationship? Like, that's the problem. Like, why is it that men don't know how to be dads outside of being in a relationship or being with the mother? Like, that's a problem. But, you know, Bobby already knows that Chance ain't shit, because she called it from the get-go. From those who've actually watched the season, she been called Chance out, okay? But after the announcement or whatever, Taylor's like, well, I need to get to know Scott more, obviously, since he's gonna get married, you know. And so that's when later on Scott actually comes, and Chance and him, you know, head out to go to some place. And at that time, you know, Bobby and Taylor are talking, and this car keeps driving by. So Scott and Chance pull up to like some car junkyard possibly. And the dude is like, hey, you know, showing him this limo, talking about, oh, we gonna make $7,500 a week, yada, 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 putting the squeeze on. And he's like, yeah, we just need like 1,200 or 12 something to get it going. And so Scott's like, so where you gonna get the money from? Immediately he like, well, you want to get in? And Scott was like, like, Chance, come on, bro. Chance is looking for get rich quick schemes. He want to sit here and talk about, oh, I work hard. No, you don't. You are lazy, you're a bum, and you keep scamming your way through life, which is why you got Bovo, whatever his name is, riding back and forth in front of your house, got Taylor scared. Because now he's like, she's like, who are you looking for? He's like, where your man at? She was like, he not here. Who want? He basically like tell him Bovo said TikTok, and then he pull off. Like, Chance, you always keep getting yourself in shit and then lying to Taylor, and now Chance, he telling Scott, oh, what happens over here, stay over here. Nick, shut up. He said, man, I'm running and telling it. I'm running and telling, I'm snitching, okay? And that's what you need to do. Don't you get pulled into Chance shit with his old lying, scamming ass. And so I think that's it, everybody. That's all the couples. So y'all tell me what you feel about Life After Lockup, all the couples. Do you guys feel like Justine and Michael are going to be able to handle all them kids? Do you guys feel like Lindsay is going to and her daughter going to, you know, acclimate well with her now moving in? And do you guys feel like Louie and Melissa are gonna make it? What do you guys think about their couple? I appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I will catch y'all later.